Okay, so let's begin chapter number 2. So I hope all of you remember what we discussed in the last sessions. Chapter number 1 we have completed by Krishna's mercy. So in the previous chapter we have seen Sanjaya is concluding that Arjuna was not inclined to fight. And that statement of Sanjaya made Dhritarashtra happy, because he was thinking that maybe Arjuna will not fight. So Arjuna is saying that he will not fight. So the Pandavas would renounce the kingdom and they will go. They will not be interested to fight. They will not be fighting. So he was joyful. Dhritarashtra was joyful. And in this chapter, the chapter number 2, Sanjaya saying Dhritarashtra hopeful, because of the previous statement of Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra was little hopeful of not losing the kingdom. So seeing that, Sanjaya is beginning to describe how Krishna is inspiring Arjuna to fight. This is what Sanjaya is now going to speak. Continue. You don't have any, Sanjaya is thinking in his heart, there is no hope, because now Krishna is going to inspire Arjuna. So in this particular chapter, the chapter number 2, if you see the Bhagavad Gita as it is, Srila Prabhupada has given the title as Contents of Gita summarized. So why it is like that? Because this chapter includes all the subject matters of Bhagavad Gita. Basically, all main subject matters of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and also a glimpse of Bhakti Yoga also mentioned in this particular chapter. So basically, if we see, there are 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita. The first 6 chapters, the main theme is, or it is considered to be the section of Karma Yoga basically. But there are some, Sankhya also, or we can say Jnana Yoga also in the second chapter. But predominantly the first 6 chapters constitutes the section of Karma Yoga, or subject matter of Karma Yoga. And the last 6 chapters, the predominant subject matter is Jnana Yoga. We will discuss that anyway when we come to that stage. So in the second chapter also some Jnana Yoga is mentioned, which will be like the science of the soul and all this, basically coming under the Jnana Yoga category. And that will be more explained, the 3 modes of material nature, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, those will be described in the last 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So that predominantly constitutes the Jnana Yoga. And the middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita is basically Bhakti Yoga. And it is mentioned as per Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says, the Bhagavad Gita is like a jewel box. So we know if we have a jewelry box, there is a beautiful, so he is comparing the Bhagavad Gita like a jewelry box, and this jewelry box has a beautiful lid which is also made of nice pearls and some valuable stones, and there is a bottom portion of the lid, bottom portion of the box, and the actual jewels and ornaments are inside the box. So he is comparing Bhagavad Gita like the lowest part is called Jnana Yoga, the lead part is Karma Yoga, and the middle part is Bhakti Yoga. So in that way. So what is more valuable? The more valuable is the jewelry, or the jewels, the most valuable jewels, which is inside the box. Correct? Similarly, Bhakti Yoga is the most important theme of Bhagavad Gita. And that Bhakti Yoga has been protected by the Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga from the top and the bottom. So that is why the 6 chapters of Bhakti Yoga is kept in the middle. The first 6 chapters constitutes Karma Yoga, which is a covering, and the bottom and the last 6 chapters are Jnana Yoga basically. But in between we will see Ashtanga Yoga also. That's Ashtanga Yoga means the Dhyana Yoga, which will be studying in the 6th chapter. So anyway, these are the three main subject matters: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. So all these three important subject matters of Bhagavad Gita has been summarized in the second chapter. That is why this chapter Prabhupada is entitling as Contents of Gita Summarized. So we will discuss that in more details. Okay, so let's begin. Let's begin. Okay, chapter number 2. Yeah, so now first verse number 1 to 10 is explaining Arjuna's indecision. Now Sanjaya is going to speak. He is continuing. He's continuing what Arjuna is thinking now and what Krishna is going to say. This he is saying that. So first 10 verses we can see Arjuna's indecision. I hope all of you remember the fifth reason we have mentioned, that indecision, which we will be covering in this first section. Arjuna's indecision and accepting Krishna. He is accepting Krishna as his guru or spiritual master. That we will see in this section basically. In the 7th verse, Arjuna is completely surrendering to Krishna. So now let's begin with verse number 1. So 1 to 3, here we can see, though Sanjay is speaking, so now Krishna is going to chastise Arjuna little bit. We will see in the second verse. Okay, first verse Sanjay is speaking now. Let's begin. Tam tada kripaya vishtam ashru purna kule kshanam vishidantam idam bhakyam uvaja madhusudana. Yes, please recite. Please recite.
Krishna Pranam. Sanjaya Uvajam Tam Tada Kripaya Vishtam Ashrapurna Kuleshanam Vishidandamidam Vakyam Vajamadusudanaha. Sanjaya said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana Krishna spoke the following words. Hare Krishna.
So here now, seeing Arjuna, Kripaya Vishtam, seeing Arjuna full of compassion. So Arjuna is full of, we have seen that in the first chapter. He is not ready to kill his relatives out of compassion. So he is seeing that Arjuna with full of compassion, Kripaya Vishtam, and Vishidantam. Vishidantam means lamentation. He is very, very, very much worried. He is lamenting, Vishidantam. And what we can see, Ashrupurna Akulekshanam. I am reading from the verses. Okay, Ashrupurna Kulekshanam means his eyes are full of tears. And with that, in that condition, Arjuna is now speaking to Madhusudana. Madhusudana is Krishna. And why he is now saying, why he is calling him as Madhusudana? Because there was a demon called Madhu. So Krishna had killed that demon Madhu. So now Arjuna wanted Krishna to kill the demon of misunderstanding that has overtaken him in the discharge of his duty. So he is considering that misunderstanding, or whatever ignorance now Arjuna is facing, is considering that to be a demon, and he is addressing Krishna as Madhusudana. So because Madhusudana means the killer of demon Madhu. So here the confusions what he have, the ignorance what in the heart of Arjuna is considered to be the demon, and Sudana means one who is destroying or killing the demon. So by calling Krishna as Madhusudana, Arjuna wanted Krishna to kill the demon of misunderstanding in his heart. and he want to, that misunderstanding has actually overtaken him in the discharge of his duty as a Kshatriya, right? That we have already seen. So yeah, so Prabhupada mentions, so that is the significance of calling him Madhusudana, right? That's the explanation. Now, Prabhupada mentions in the purport some points. Material compassion, lamentation and tears are all signs of ignorance of real self. Compassion for the eternal soul is self-realization. So, material compassion, lamentation and tears, it's basically, yeah, we have discussed about compassion also in the previous sessions. So actual compassion means we should have compassion on a spiritual level, not on a material plane. For example, we can say like a person who is not having money, a person who is very poverty stricken, he doesn't have money to eat food. We naturally we may feel some compassion, right? We may feel compassion and we may give some money to not money or maybe food. We will give food to that person. It's good. It's good. For example, if you are seeing somebody like that, and if you are taking that person to a hotel and ordering something from the hotel and giving to him, so that's basically, that compassion is based on his body. I know that compassion is material, not spiritual. The reason is that we are thinking that yes, that person is suffering, going through some problems, or he doesn't have money to eat food, so let me help him by giving food. But we may be giving him food maybe one time or two times or maybe three times, but how many times we can do? Can we do it for lifelong? That generally people don't do that. That's one thing. Second point is that we are getting food from a hotel, and we know that a food which is not offered to Krishna is not actually supposed to be taken, because it will have so many karmas inside in that. So we are trying to help that person by just for the maintenance of his body, thinking that he is poverty, he is going through the poverty. It's a good sign, but it's not a complete. It's not a proper compassion actually. Proper compassion will be on a spiritual level. That is like the same thing, same situation. See, if you are seeing him as a spirit soul, like all of us, we are also spirit soul. We will see that in the coming verses, our identity. So we are seeing that person as a part and parcel of Krishna, and we are trying to help him by providing food. We may be giving him food, but that food will be offered, it will be prasadam. For example, if you are making prasadam at home, we have some prasadam which is already offered to Krishna, and we have that offered food or prasadam, and we are giving to that person. So what is happening there? We are actually helping him to maintain his body, plus we are giving spiritual food. That will, give some sukriti for him. So that will help him to come to the next level, and to get some spiritual credits in his account. This is spiritual compassion. This is not material compassion. So same activity we can spiritualize. So that is why the compassion is good. And second thing is that also we can help him in different ways. We are not only giving food, we may be asking him what is the problem and how can I help you further. So we may be trying to give them some, we may be trying to give them some some kind of advices. We can tell them, yeah, you can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that will help you to come out of the problems or whatever. So in different ways we can try to inspire that person to take up Krishna consciousness. So that also can be done. So if we do like that, then that is actually a spiritual compassion. That activity is going to give that person eternal benefit, not a temporary benefit. But if we are going to give some food from the hotel, temporary benefit only. Not only that, that person is going to eat food, maybe body will be maintained, but spiritually speaking, there is no spiritual credits for him. Secondly, we are maybe if we are giving a non-vegetarian food to that person, then that karma also will come to us also, for them also. So many complications are there. So spiritual compassion and material compassion is different. So here Prabhupada gives a very beautiful example. So that's what Prabhupada says. Compassion for eternal soul is self-realization. Means spiritual compassion is good. I mean, that is the actual compassion, by the way. So here Prabhupada gives a very beautiful example. Compassion for a dress of a drowning man is senseless. A man fallen in the ocean of nescience cannot be saved simply by rescuing his outward dress, the gross material body. Just imagine, beautiful example is this. This example is very beautiful. Just imagine if somebody is in the water, he is drowning in the water. If we want to save that person, what we should do? We should try to pull him, not pulling his dress, right? Pulling his dress, is there any value for it, or does it have any meaning? So pulling out the dress of the drowning person doesn't have any meaning at all. We have to pull that person from the water. So material compassion is compared to be like trying to save that person, drowning man, by pulling his dress. I mean the sense, compassion for the dress, not for the person. Understand? So that is what Prabhupada says. Compassion for the dress of a drowning man is senseless, but compassion for the person who is drowning is good. And outward dress is considered to be our gross material body, the body what we have. But actual compassion is on a spiritual level. Understanding that yes, this person needs Krishna consciousness in his life, so let me help him. So we have to, that is spiritual compassion. And because we cannot whatever do whatever things we do externally, will not be helping them eternally. So external or material whatever things we may be helping people or whatever out of compassion, will not be a permanent solution for their problems. The permanent solution for all problems is by giving the permanent solution, which is bhakti, which is Krishna consciousness. So a person can be, so Prabhupada mentions here, a man fallen in the ocean of nescience. Nescience means ignorance. So a man in the ocean of ignorance cannot be saved simply by rescuing outward dress. So just by saving the gross material body is not enough. We have to give some spiritual solution. So that is what is being mentioned by Prabhupada about the compassion. So now let's go to verse number 2. Now Krishna is going to chastise Arjuna. This is the first verse in Bhagavad Gita which is spoken by Krishna. Chapter number 2, verse number 2. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. See, he is going to now chastise. See, he is beginning the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna starts speaking Bhagavad Gita by giving chastisement to Arjuna. Let's see what he says. Kutastva kashmalam idam vishame samupastitam anarya jushtam asvargyam akirti karam Arjuna. Yes, please recite.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Udastava Kasmalam Nidam Visame Samupastitam Anarya Justam Asvargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets but to infamy. Hare Krishna.
So now see Krishna's tone, he is little bit in a chastising mood. He is telling Arjuna, Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupastitam. Kutastva, how these impurities, kashmalam means impurities, how have these impurities come upon you in this very critical hour of crisis, how these impurities have come upon you. Then he says, anarya jushtam, these are not benefiting a civilized man like you. These kind of impurities are not helping you. You are a civilized person, you are a knowledgeable person, but how these impurities come upon you? Asvargyam, this thought process, what you have now, will not lead to higher planets. Or maybe we can say, it's not higher planets means, or liberation or higher planets, we can say, like, it will not help you to come out of this, get out of this, or here basically higher planets, but Krishna is trying to say that to come out of these things, to go higher, this will not help you. Akirtikaram Arjuna, this will lead to infamy. Whatever you are thinking now. That's how Krishna chastises Arjuna. So, but this chastisement also is very, very, very nice actually, because Krishna loves Arjuna. He is his best friend. So he wanted to help him. And even when Krishna chastises, he is not doing out of an angry mood. Krishna never becomes angry, by the way. We will become angry because because we have the mode of ignorance and passion. The Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Because of that we are getting angry. Krishna's anger is not based on the Rajoguna or Tamoguna. Krishna's anger, it's not an anger basically, it's a mercy. Apparently we may think that it's like a chastisement or anger, but it's not anger, it's compassion on all his part and parcel living entities. He is very compassionate, he loves us, so he wants to help us. So he is now trying to help Arjuna, but in a very different way he is presenting it. And this chastisement from Krishna, Sri Guru, our Guru, is very, very beneficial. We need chastisements. Krishna generally does not do, but Guru will do. Guru, the meaning of Guru, the term Guru also means heavy. So Guru can be very heavy on disciples. That's the duty of a Guru. Because disciples, there should be somebody to hold on the ears if we are not proper, right? We need some corrections, we need some feedbacks, we need some chastisements sometimes. If you are mischievous, if the child is mischievous, the parents have to take stick, or maybe do some chastisement has to be done, correct? In order to bring them to the proper line. Similarly, that's the role of a Guru. Guru also does that. But Krishna generally, even if he is chastising, he will smile. He is in a different mood. He is more. Krishna is like, Krishna will take the help of Guru to chastise us. You see in the Mahabharata war also, when Duryodhana was blaspheming him, Krishna, like anything, and in any critical situation, Krishna is not at all bothered. He is always smiling. Even Shishupala, during the Rajasuya Yagya, he was criticizing Krishna, right, middle and center, criticizing Krishna like anything. He was just smiling. He was just smiling. Oh, let him speak. Because Krishna is beyond all this. Nothing can affect him. No chastisement, even praise also. So then we may think that if we are praising Krishna, we are glorifying Krishna, actually does that, we say, right, when we pray, we glorify Krishna to make him happy. Basically, it is for our purification we are doing it. For Krishna, praise and criticism there is no difference, because he is absolute truth. He is beyond all these, gunas. What we say, praising and glorification or chastisement or whatever, or criticism is on the material plane. That will not affect Krishna. But a person who is glorifying Krishna, that makes that person, that help that person to be purified. So the person who glorifies Krishna will become purified. That is the benefit of the person who is doing that. But Krishna is not depending upon our glorification. He is completely aloof. He is independent. He is Purnam. He is complete of everything. But still, he is not bereft of anything from us. Or he is not expecting also. He is not bereft of anything. He is complete and full. But he likes somebody, if he is, he likes to see the love of the devotees. If we are loving him, if we are having that love, that bhakti towards him, then he has some special affection for all of us. So only that he is looking for, not anything else, not any objects, not gold, no donation, nothing. Krishna is only looking our heart. So that's his mood. Anyway, so now here Prabhupada mentions few points in the purport. Krishna and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical. Therefore, Lord Krishna is referred to as Bhagavan throughout Bhagavad Gita. So, throughout Bhagavad Gita, we can see Shri Bhagavanu Vacha. It is mentioned like that, not Krishna Vacha. It is mentioned Shri Bhagavanu Vacha to emphasize this point that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Throughout the Bhagavad Gita we can see, whenever Krishna is speaking, it is Sri Bhagavanu Vacha, like that. And Prabhupada mentions about, and he is saying that in the purport, that Krishna is absolute truth, Parama Satyam. He is absolute truth. And absolute truth means the actual, or what we can say, absolute truth means he is the conclusion of everything. He is the beginning of everything. He is completely full. In the sense, absolute truth means that's the actual truth, absolute truth. And that absolute truth can be are expressed in three ways. So I am going to now speak about three expressions or three realizations of absolute truth. So we can say absolute truth equal to Krishna or Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, just we have to understand that. Now, this absolute truth or Supreme Personality of Godhead can be understood in three ways. Or we can say, in other words, absolute truth or Supreme Personality of Godhead can be realized in these three levels. So what are those is mentioned here: Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. So what is the meaning of, I will just explain what is these three terms. So it's basically level of realization. So there are three levels, 1, 2, 3. So first level is Brahman realization, second level is Paramatma realization, third level is Bhagavan realization. So what is the meaning of that? So we mentioned that absolute truth or Supreme Personality Godhead is absolute truth equal to Supreme Personality Godhead equal to Krishna. Okay, and understand that. Now to understand him, there are three aspects or three kinds of realizations. First is Brahman. Brahman realization is nothing but Krishna's impersonal aspect. That means Krishna has two aspects basically, impersonal aspect and personal aspect. Personal aspect means he has a form, personal form, he has qualities, he has form and qualities and devotees also with him. Impersonal aspect of Krishna is the effulgence which is coming from the body of Krishna basically. So we would have heard about Brahma Jyoti. Brahma Jyoti is nothing but the effulgence or the light, we can say spiritual light, which is coming from the body of Krishna. So Krishna is sitting in the spiritual world and he has different expansions. So we have already I think we have discussed, I'm not remembering. Anyway, we have discussed that there are innumerable universes in this material world, and spiritual world is, and all these innumerable universes comprises of this material world, or inside the material world. We can say all together we can say material world. And spiritual world is beyond this. So it is mentioned in the Shastras, when we cross this material world, and before we enter into the spiritual world, we will start seeing the effulgence all over, spiritual effulgence, spiritual light. And that is the first thing we will be seeing when we go to, for example, when we are going to Goloka, Vrindavan or Vaikunta. The first thing we are going to see is the spiritual light, effulgence. So that is in the, just after the border of the material world. We'll start seeing the spiritual light, spiritual effulgence. That spiritual effulgence is what is called as Brahman. And that spiritual effulgence is coming from the body of the Supreme Lord. And that spiritual effulgence is spreading all over the spiritual world and giving light, or we can say even that spiritual effulgence or Brahma Jyoti is giving light to our sun in the universe, in our universe, or any suns of the material world, because every universe have one sun. We are in one universe. Likewise, there are billions of universes. So every universe have different suns. Only one sun in one universe. So the sunlight is being given by the sun is getting that light or effulgence actually from the spiritual light, or we can say Brahma Jyoti, which is the effulgence coming from Krishna. So the Brahman realization means understanding that Krishna doesn't have a form. He is, or that supreme, not personality, they will not say personality, that absolute truth means effulgence, Brahman effulgence, or we can say spiritual effulgence, spiritual light. That is the understanding of Brahmavadis. So Brahman realization means those, or Brahmavadis means those who consider that the absolute truth only has an impersonal aspect, and also absolute truth means only a spiritual light. That is the first understanding. So there are people who are still in India, and not only India, basically in India, we can say, because spiritualists are more in India. You would have heard also, merging into the light. Maybe you would have heard that terminology used by many people. People are saying, when we die, or when we, our goal of life is to merge into that supreme Brahma Jyoti or light. So for them, there is no conception of form of the Lord. They consider only the light to be the absolute truth, not beyond that. And that is the first realization, first level of realization, which is called as Brahman realization. And that is what is being mentioned here in the purport also. When you read the purport, you will see, I am just explaining that. Okay, I request all of you, and we are not going through the purports. It's your duty to go through the entire purports and mark it. If you have any questions, please ask me. But important points we are trying to discuss here. Okay, so that's the first level of realization, which is called Brahman realization. Now, second, I will give an example also with, to understand it more clear. Take the example of sun. So we know that there is sun planet, we see, whatever we see. And we know that there is sun god, who is Surya Dev. Okay. And we also know that there is sunlight. So what we see now, the rays of the sun, or the light which is coming out from the sun planet, is what we are seeing every day, right? So if we are saying that sun means only sunlight, is it a complete understanding? If you are saying that sun means only sunlight, there is no sun planet, there is no sun god, Is it a correct, full understanding? No, right? Sun means not only sunlight. Sunlight is an aspect of the sun, correct? Understanding, right? Similarly, this Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, the realization is what I am trying to explain. So the Brahmavadis think that only light is everything. It is something like considering that sunlight means sun, nothing beyond that. Sunlight means, sun means sunlight. No sun planet, no sun person, God also. But that's not the correct, that's not the full understanding. Similarly, light coming from the body of Krishna, of course that's coming from the body of Supreme Lord, no doubt. But there is a person, from that person's body this light is coming. But Brahmavadi says that there is no person, only light is there. This is the problem. So their understanding, their realization is incomplete. So there are different philosophies in India, in spiritual schools. They say that merging into that Brahman light or light is the goal of life. They don't consider Krishna as a form, or they don't consider a person like Krishna or a person like Narayana or Vishnu. They only say that this light is everything, and goal of life is to merge into that. Get out of this material world and merge into the light. That's all. That is Brahman realization. Now let's go to the second level. Second level is Paramatma, which is as mentioned in the purport. Paramatma realization is the second level, wherein the devotee understand that there is a Brahma Jyoti, there is a light effulgence. Beyond that, there is an aspect called Paramatma means super soul. That means all pervading nature of the all pervading nature of the absolute truth. So all pervading nature means it is present in each and every atom, and super soul or Paramatma is present in each and every living entity. Not only living entity, even the inanimate objects also, even in between two atoms and inside the atom also. That is how the Supreme Lord has been is being pervaded all over. And that aspect is called as Paramatma realization. And those people who are meditating on that particular feature of absolute truth are called as Paramatmavadis. The first we mentioned, those who are meditating on the Brahma Jyoti, they are called Brahmavadis. And now second aspect we mentioned, we are talking now, is Paramatmavadis. Those people who are meditating on the Paramatma feature, this means all pervading feature of the Lord, are called as Paramatmavadis. And they are accepting that absolute truth has a form. Their understanding is much better than the Brahmavadis. Okay. Now they say that they are saying that absolute truth means all pervading. He is present in each and every atom also. And they say that as per the Shastras, it's Vishnu, because we know that Vishnu is present as the Kshirodakashai. Vishnu is present as Paramatma in all the living entities and even in the atoms. So that Vishnu form, four-handed Vishnu form, is present as Paramatma. They accept that. That's all. So their meditation is all pervading nature of the Lord, who is in the four-handed form, sitting in each and every living entity, and also all pervading in each and every atom. And their meditation is on that particular Paramatma, basically. So they have only understanding of that, okay, there is a form, they are accepting a form, but Brahmavadis are not accepting a form. So we can say that Paramatma realization is much better than or much higher than Brahman realization. Now let's take the example of the sun again. So we mentioned sun light is compared to be the Brahma Jyoti or Brahman. Now we are considering that, okay, we are saying that, okay, not only sunlight, there is some sun planet is there. Okay, that person is, considering sun planet also, not only light. So that is something called as Paramatmavadis. They say that, oh, sunlight is not enough, sun planet, because this light is coming from the planet. So they are considering, or they are agreeing that there is a sun planet. Similarly, this Paramatmavadis understand that Krishna is all pervading, and they consider Krishna's all pervading nature and that particular 400 form of Vishnu. Now, coming to the third level is Bhagavan realization, is nothing but understanding the complete aspect of Krishna, which includes the first level, which is effulgence, Brahman or Brahmajyoti, and second aspect, which is Paramatma, all pervading nature, and third aspect or higher aspect is understanding that Krishna has a form, the form Shyamasundar form, or a Narayana form in Vaikuntha, or a Narayana form in Vaikuntha. And not only that, he has got all the qualities. He has qualities of beauty, like we will see that. That is the definition of Bhagavan. So Bhagavan means there are 6 qualities mentioned as per Shastras. All the 6 qualities are in full for a person. If you have to call him a Bhagavan, he should have all the qualities, all these qualities. What are the 6 qualities? Beauty, knowledge, then what else? Anybody say, please? I want to others to, those devotees who knows, please say. I know many of you know. Aishwaryascha samagrasya virasya yashasa shriya. Please say. I want all of you to, those who know, please. Yeah, please.
Beauty, strength, fame, strength.
Beauty, strength, fame,
wealth,
knowledge
and renunciation.
So 6 things. So 6 things my Mataji mentioned, right? So beauty, full, 100% beauty. There is nobody beyond him. And knowledge, he is the all knowledgeable person. Then the Bhagavan means the person who is having all the 6 qualities in full, not partial, in full. So beauty, knowledge, fame, he is the most famous personality. Then he is the most powerful personality, strength. And he is the most, which one I missed now?
Renunciation, Prabhu.
Yeah, renunciation is there last. One more.
Wealth.
Yeah, he is the most richest person because everything belongs to him. Right? Everything belongs to him. And finally, renunciation. Renunciation means he is the owner of everything, proprietor of everything, but he is not attached to any of these things. So Krishna has all these 6 aspects in full. Not only Krishna, any even Narayana or any expansions of Krishna has this opulences, 6 opulences in full. So Bhagavan realization is nothing but understanding that Krishna has a form, proper form, either 400 or 200 form, and also having the all 6 opulences in full, and understanding that there is a spiritual abode, spiritual world, and understanding that not only him, there are devotees who are serving him, and there are devotees who are who are serving him in those spiritual. So understanding complete aspect of Krishna is called as Bhagavan realization. So these are the 3 levels of understanding the absolute truth. This is what is Prabhupada explains here. Okay, this is actually coming in Bhagavatam, but this understanding we should have. So now let us take the example of sun again. So sun rays we accepted, okay, first level, that is Brahman realization. Second is understanding that sun planet also. So that's Paramatma Vadis and accept light as well as the sun rays as well as the planet. Now, the highest realization is Bhagavan realization, wherein the person accepts sun rays, sun planet, also the sun god. Just a comparison, just a simple example for us to understand these three aspects basically. Shastra says this example. So, one who is understanding that there is a sun god, there is sun planet, there is sun rays, that is the complete understanding, correct? That is the complete understanding of sun. Sun means there is sun god, Surya Dev, there is sun planet and also sun rays. That is a complete understanding. So, that is what is called as Bhagavan realization, means complete understanding of Bhagavan. So, Bhagavan or Krishna has personal features, impersonal feature also. Impersonal feature is nothing but the light coming from him. So, that is a complete understanding. So, these are the three levels of realization, three aspects of realizing the absolute truth. Let me just, now Prabhupada is giving this definition of Bhagavan also. We already discussed this. One who possesses all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, all renunciation in full. By the way, this is in full. And all of us, dear devotees, we may have some percentage of these things. No, there will be billionaire of this world. The most richest person of this world, we cannot compare him with Krishna's rich. He is only a fragment, not even a fragment in front of Krishna. Krishna possesses everything in full, right? So, some percentage of these qualities, all the people like us, we have, but in minute quantities, not full. Minute quantities like strength, like some fame. There are some famous people also in this world, but he is not famous like Krishna. There are some beautiful people also in this world, but they are not having beauty like Krishna, because our beauty is like when we become old, our beauty declines, reduces, right? The Miss World or Miss Universe of 10 years before, they don't have any value now. No, they don't. Nobody cares. Correct. Similarly, knowledge also. But Krishna's beauty is not like that. He is ever youthful. He is ever youthful. And Krishna is very famous. We are discussing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, which happened thousands and thousands of years before. He is very famous. We will not discuss about somebody who is if he is whoever famous we take, a sports star or film star. After 100 years or after that they depart from this world, or maybe 100 years after that of one generation, if passing one generation, nobody is going to discuss about, nobody is going to remember that person, correct? Like that. And knowledge, whatever knowledge we may have some knowledge, but not in full like Krishna. And renunciation, we already discussed that Krishna is possessing everything belongs to him, but still he is not at all attached to that. So all the 6 opulences, when it becomes full, when it is available as in full or 100%, he is called as Bhagavan. And only Krishna can claim this. Only Krishna and his expansions. No living entity, including Brahma and Shiva, can possess as fully as Krishna. So no living entity like Brahma. Brahma is the topmost living entity. He cannot say that he cannot be called as Bhagavan like this, because he is not having all these 6 opulences in full. Even Shiva also. Shiva is basically, he is not a Jiva, but he is different Tattva altogether. But he is an expansion, we can say. As per Shastra, it is mentioned that milk and curd. So if Krishna is considered to be milk, and curd is a product of milk. Similarly, Shiva is coming from Krishna, no doubt. But Shiva is not equal to Krishna. So that is the difference. So no living entity, including Brahma, Shiva, can possess opulences as fully as Krishna. Now, it is concluded in Brahma Samhita and Srimad Bhagavatam that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Brahma Samhita says, there is a verse, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna is the cause of all causes. Anadir, he is the beginning. There is no beginning for Krishna, and he is the original. So that verse of Brahma Samhita is very giving us clear information that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Even Bhagavatam has verses, and one of the verses, Ete chamsha kalapumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So Shukadev Goswami, Suta Goswami, after speaking 22 incarnations of Krishna in Bhagavatam, he concludes by saying that all these are actually part and parcel, or amsha avatara, or amshas of amshas of Krishna, and Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. He is the Swayam Bhagavan. He is the source of all other incarnations. That is the verdiction. That is the words of Bhagavatam. So all Bhagavatam or many scriptures are clearly concluding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so I'm stopping here. I'm sorry, we have gone little beyond the time. I was trying to explain about the Bhagavan definition. This is the definition of Bhagavan. There is a verse also. This is from Vishnu Purana. Aishwaryasya samagrasya virasya shasashriya. There is a verse from Vishnu Purana which gives the definition of Bhagavan. And secondly, we also discuss about the three aspects of absolute truth: Brahman, Paramatman, Bhagavan. Hare Krishna. Thank you. If you have any doubts or something to ask.